I remember bursting out crying. I'm like, you keep making. Oh my gosh, I have to talk while I do this. I'm gonna have to do my eyebrows off camera. We need to review this. Oops. Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning into another episode. We're going to try to get into this while I try to do my makeup. Emphasis on the try. Okay, quick little disclaimer. I always been scared to do this because I'm like, God forbid someone comments, what is she even doing? She doesn't even go here. I don't know, but I feel like, this is gonna be kind of fun. Also, this is a journey within itself because people think makeup is just, you just get into this and you're perfect. You're just the best of the best. You just become a girl of makeup. No, this is a journey. Cause child, I came from here, and here. Yeah. Okay, let's get into this. First, let me clip this hair. Okay, this is the best we're gonna do with this. But y'all ever like got y'all makeup done and like the makeup artist like they about to lift your wig off? It's like, okay, I know you about to beat this face, but dang, leave the wig on. The wig has nothing to do with this. Now let's really get into this. I already like prepped my face. Oh my gosh, I have to talk while I do this. When I was younger, I was always very observant, clever, or how the Haitians would say it clearly. Yeah, that was she was that. So at a certain age, after I took a good look around, I was like, I don't think there's a point in trying so hard, because the people I'm looking at, they worked hard, had to start over, worked even harder, but yet it felt as if like they didn't really get anywhere. Or for me, it just like they were still struggling, unhappy. So I'm like, what's the point? And it's crazy when you're also the child that everyone think it's so bright, the moon, shoot for stars. It's like, why me? Why do you want me to do that? Like, this is the reality around me. Like, I'm smart enough to understand what you're saying. No bueno, no thank you. Get somebody else to do it. Yeah, so for me, the way to protect myself, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to be content with the nice little somethings. A nice little house, nice little family. I'm not really a car fanatic, so, an A to B car. As long as it gets me A to B and it's a nice little something. That was the goal. And no one really knew that, especially at that age. We weren't just sitting down talking about our goals, but that was my plan. I hope this turned out good because I can't see nothing. You know what? I'm just gonna do my makeup and whatever. Although no one else knew this about me really, because I was that high achieving child. God knew this about me. Also, I was a very sad child. No one else knew about that too. So being that child that was a straight A child and always getting like awards, no one would think that deep down she wasn't shooting for the moon. She was shooting for the grass, okay? She was shooting for the grass. Joke's on y'all. You think you're getting out the hood with her? She might just live 15 minutes away from the hood. That was me then. No one knew, but God knew. And the main characters for today, like when I say try, we're also trying new makeup. So it's this and this. Let me tell you what's really my baby. Is she, but we're gonna get her again pretty soon. I don't even want to show it to y'all because I'm like, no, we gotta talk about this. We gotta do this again. And this is where God gets pretty funny, and also how my relationship started with them. So being high school comes with its own challenges, but also I was also dealing with some other personal matter at home, and I was dealing with my first heartbreak. So I was just sad. I was just so sad. And now it's not my senior year, and now my plan is now about to set in motion. Nice little somethings. Everyone probably thinking I was going to college. I don't know who told them that. I didn't tell them that. I did not say no such thing, okay? So I knew I liked fashion and I wanted to be a fashion designer. My plan was just to act like I was going to college and not really apply to college and just go to community college. Nothing's wrong with community college, but then go to community college and just thrive like that. So I'm going through the senior year. I'm working, dual enrolling at a local community college, and I only go to my high school when I had like practice or like if there was something going on during the day. I don't know why I went that day, but I had recently learned about Spelman College. And I was like, you know what, let me just go ask some people about it. And I was close to the guidance counselor. Shout out Miss Bailey. I went into her office and on the way out, I'm like, hey, you heard about Spelman College? And she's like, yeah, that's a very great school. And mind you, this whole time she already was helping me get into college, but no one knew, plan. So she's like, yeah, that's a great school. You should consider that. But there was another teacher in there and she, just the way her personality is, she was just like, yeah, but it's very hard to get in. Don't judge me on how I do my nose. Yeah, so when she said that, I looked back. I said, bet. This is why I said God is so funny. He's so clever. Because God will use what people would look onto as flaws to work in your favor. You know that verse, all things work out for, okay? And he knew that although I had the plan of shooting for the grass and just finding a way to just settle, he purposely placed that teacher in that room during that time to say that, because he knew if I heard that, the competitive nature that I had, he knew that was going to trigger me to get more interested into it. Not only that, I also was in a need of validation. Like I told you, I was going through a very emotional time. Like I'm a high school student, hated high school, wanted to leave there, wanted to graduate early, stayed just to stay. I also was going through personal family matter, and I told you I was doing my first heartbreak. I was like, I couldn't breathe. I could not breathe. Makeup is not to teach nobody, because I really I usually like to sit down and see what I'm doing, but hey, we just here for the fun. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like this. It's kind of fun. Now I'm starting to look into Spelman a lot more. The more I learned about it, the more I want to go. So I'm filling out everything. And again, it was like, all right, if I'm going to college, I only want to go here. I applied to other places, but I know the way I am, I just wanted to be a woe is me. At that time, I just wanted to self-sabotage so I can continue to be in that rut that I was in. So I'm applying to some other places. The only other place that I almost liked as much as Spelman during that time was UM. I was like, oh, I want to go to UM. Y'all, I had missed that deadline by 1 minute. I don't know if you probably could submit, but I was just like, it's a sign. I submitted everything else for Spelman on time. Fast forward, I got into Spelman. I was like, oh my God. Like, this is for real, y'all. Like, I'm really going to be able to go to school of my dreams. And now life seems bigger. And God, the whole time, he's smiling. He's like, oh, she don't know what I'm doing. All right. Fast forward now, it got difficult. So close for me not to be able to go because there was some financial aid stuff. I cried. I had also 2 other full rides to go to 2 other colleges, but I already told you I'm not going. I was like, I'm not going to college unless I'm going to Spelman. And everybody was like, just go. I'm just like, no, fast forward again, something came through and able to go. And I went to Spelman College. Y'all, every year I cried at the end of the year. When it was almost time for grades to be submitted, I was at the altar asking the Lord to please just make a miracle for me, because your girl didn't know how much of a different educational background that she had. Unless the curriculum prepares you for that, it could be a struggle. I didn't know that I still had the capability to achieve what I possibly could have achieved. So I was at the altar, and for some reason every year the Lord would just let it work in my favor. I was able to pass, but I was struggling. I was struggling every year, and that led to some depression. Also, the way I used to be in the world, y'all. Just know I colleged the way I was supposed to college. I enjoyed it. I wasn't too crazy now. Hold on. Wait a minute. You know, but I enjoyed my college experience, y'all. But now it's the final countdown. It's time for you to graduate, and you have to basically know where you're going after this. I knew I wanted to go to medical school, but I didn't even know. I don't know how I was going to get there. And I also want to add, I was graduating a year early because I had those credits from dual enrollment. So instead of my advisor saying, you know what, maybe just slow down, he was just like, get in and get out. And I was getting out to nothing. I didn't have really a plan. And then COVID happened, which really wrapped up the year a lot faster. So I got home and I was just like so sad. I was so sad. I hope this doesn't look crazy on camera. Whatever, we locked in. It's too late. Turn back now. It's on my face. So now he's like, let's give a shot to go to medical school. I researched as much as I need to, and that's when I created my first MCAT plan of how I'm just going. I created my first MCAT plan of how I'm gonna do this and ask for work, because this is important. Y'all, I ended up being a teacher. I don't know how I ended up being a teacher. That's crazy. I promise I'm just probably so nervous. I don't know. Oh well, what could I do? It's already on my face. I don't know. Never know. It might work out. You heard it. You heard it right. Ended up becoming a teacher. I don't know how. To this day, I don't know how I got there. So I was doing it while I was studying, and I kid y'all not, I ended up getting so burnt out, y'all. It's not even funny. Like when I tell y'all, I literally felt myself crashing. But what really made me finally see like I need to slow down, the stress of the journey was causing me to not only, I was dealing with hair thinning. And when I tell y'all, I was like, oh Jesus, what's going on? That woke me up. One thing about Jesus, he will find a way to wake you up. I was like, not my hair. I'm too young. So what happened then, maybe it's not gonna be that bad, because I don't know, y'all. Again, like I said, this is my first time doing it on camera. I became very numb because I kept feeling as if like I'm trying everything and nothing was working out. I feel like I had the blueprint, I had all the materials, but nothing was working out. It's not until I had met a boy and tried to study. Not only did I hear the words quit your job and focus on studying, I quit my job and I did not focus on studying. I just fell in love. And I was just like, you know what? Again, I didn't realize what I was doing was just basically use the wrong color right here. I forgot I had the color right here. We gonna make it shake, y'all. Watch. Y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna be shocked. Y'all gonna be sassy. You're gonna be like, I'm not gonna lie, I actually like this. But yeah, so like in that moment for me, when I finally found a new place of comfort, not in Jesus, when I found a new place of comfort in that relationship, it was just like, man, what was the point of me trying to go at this? Like, girl, we never really wanted this. We just want nice little somethings. We didn't want all that extra stuff. And I now have a nice little family, a nice little car, like, you know, a nice little degree. And I was just like, now we could continue that plan. So in my new happy place, for some reason, you know, the first time around, it was my competitive nature and my need for validation that he used to be able to get me to that next chapter. But this time, it was a deep feeling of emptiness. I'm just like so happy. I felt like I had everything that I needed. What it really was, my flesh was so fulfilled. But spiritually, his grace was allowing that longing in my heart. So now it's an emptiness and my need for clarity, because I was confused, because I'm like, I feel comforted, but you know, something's going on. I'm like, what is it? Now being in that relationship, I got both of us going to church because I'm like, I need to find out, you need Jesus, let's go. And as I continued my walk with him, this longing just continued to increase and I just couldn't shake it. It's not finally I did this prayer. I'm like, God, I don't know what's going on. Don't know why I keep feeling the way I'm feeling. I'm like, remove whatever you have to remove. And when you do what you do, I will talk. Because I always had this way of talking myself into getting my way. Just the art of manipulation. But I didn't think it was manipulation. I just thought it was like a survival skill I was just blessed with. Fast forward to find out, y'all, the removing prayer was the person. I was like, oh no. I was like, not him. I was like, I have a list of other people in front of line who I think it is. And it was him. And this is where he used the next thing in me. Let's not end at just need for clarity, because what another thing that he used in me was my word, because I'm very big about my word. So now I'm like, okay, I told God that when he does whatever he do, I'm not going to, you know, not going to step in. I'm not going to try to change. I'm gonna just let God do what God's gonna do. And as much as I want to, I have the fear of the Lord. I was like, ooh, God forbid, try to go against my word, knowing that I gave him my word and knowing his power. I was like, I don't want no smoke. I did what I had to do. And I'm like, all right, God, I'm gonna take a leap of faith and I'm gonna go through this with you, and victory is gonna be at the end of the tunnel. Took that leap of faith, and now in a way, you know, like there was that one season my source of income was being a teacher, and now I'm not in that relationship. And me and my friend during that time, we were trying to make a podcast, and I'll never forget this day. She just kept asking, she was like, what are you gonna do? Like, because you know, as we're going through the equipment list of what we need, and you know, she has some of the stuff already, she just kept asking like, what are you gonna do? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. Things get expensive, and you know, I was already looking for jobs, but still I had no prospects. But for some reason, I still don't know why I was like that. I love that type of faith I had in Jesus. I was just like, the money coming in, not knowing where the money was gonna come from. Boom. And a lot of times when I say fast forward, it's because I'll make a specific video for those seasons, but just trying to, you know, it was supposed to be a mini backstory. Get a job that I clearly I was unqualified for, but Jesus made me qualify. It was fully remote. It was my first salary job plus uncapped commission. Yeah, I was balling. I was so happy. I'm closing deals left and right. Boom, boom, boom. They didn't want no smoke with me, because if there was money on the table, best believe I was getting it. And it's not until I thought everything was going good, but now I'm dealing with a new sense of sadness. I'm feeling a new sense of emptiness. I kept telling myself it was because of the breakup, and I just have to wait, and I just have to be grateful for what I have. Not until I end up finding out the reason why I'm in this new space of sadness is because he's like, I try to show you the nice little family that you wanted. It wasn't really what you wanted. That's not where I need you to be. Now this nice little job that you have, and I don't, because I don't even want to say nice little job because I thought it was big. It probably was. I'm not gonna lie. But it's like, you know, that nice little job that, you know, you feel like fits perfectly in your nice little something agenda. I want you to see it's not the answer either, because all these spaces, all your sources weren't me. Now in all of these, what was providing you comfort, all of a sudden I can't remember how to do my makeup. He's like, I'm trying to show you, and all of this, it was money that was providing you comfort, and you see how it doesn't last. He basically was like, money is nothing compared to me, and I'm gonna keep showing you that. So again, you know, I did my next little prayers. I'm like, Jesus, I need your help. I don't know what's going on. I thought this was where I'm supposed to be, but clearly it's not. I'm gonna have to do my eyebrows off camera because that's too intimidating. Eventually, I got this dream. He gave me confirmation, and it was time for me to leave this job. And I remember bursting out crying. I'm like, you keep making me try. You keep like, in the confirmation that he gave me, he was like, I need you to just focus on studying. Focus on studying. Do not worry about money, because I had a savings for my savings for my savings. He was like, I got you. I went into that season. I was like, all right, cool. I got you. Yeah. I did not follow instructions. I just kept looking for another job. Okay, because I was like, I want my money. I need my monies. Okay, the girls like her monies. And I never forget just going through that season. I was so miserable, and I got so mad at him. I'll be back. I had to do some stuff off camera, because I was like, no way am I going to just say Cleo and have y'all thinking like I'm a fool, because she's definitely not that. And I have a meeting. But yes, as I was saying, like, okay, so now we left the relationship, we left the job, and he's telling me to be obedient and just go all in with studying. And it was hard. After the months of not being obedient, I just remember one day just break it down and just say, you always want me to try. You keep having me try. I pointed at the sky. No, I got so mad. I was like, you know I don't want to do this. Stop making me try. Just imagine. It's funny now, but in the moment, there was nothing funny about this. Cause like I really felt like that. I'm like, you keep having me try to look stupid. Like, if you know it's not gonna work out, why do you keep having me try if you know I'm gonna end up looking stupid? Like, I don't even play with myself like that. But then just to finish with that year and finally get to where I am now, it's not until I had to learn how much of my identity was rooted for money. And remember what I just said, Jesus, money. Don't get me wrong. Because when I would tell people that, I'll tell people like I'm not money motivated like that, or especially now, like I don't prioritize money like that. Is because I've learned from having such a identity and having money, being self-sufficient, I was chasing it. And you have to be able to understand who's your source. Just because he has different environments, people, certain streams of income being your source, that's not your source. He's just allowing that to be a part of the plan, but it's not for you to grow attached to it. And I also was able to understand it was his grace that was allowing me to feel that emptiness, that longing of wanting to be fulfilled, because he's just like, that life that you were pursuing this whole time, it was going to just lead you into, I'm currently in Romans, but like how it would state, eternal doom. Like, it was leading me to that. Granted, like, you know how they say his ways is not our ways. He had enough grace and mercy to be able to know, like, it's just because I didn't know better, or because actually a lot of us, we just don't know better, that he allows us to feel what we're feeling. And the sucky thing about it is we live in a society that conditions us and kind of brainwashes us to shoot for mediocrity. Like, I was just reading in my book by Pastor Rich Wilkerson, I believe, and he said that none of us are living this life hoping to be average. Deep down, we actually want to be great. Like, none of us are getting on our knees to pray God to be average, but what happens is life causes you to shoot for mediocrity. And it was his grace and his mercy, and also what I was praying for. And I'm going to post another video of being careful about what you pray for, because if you're praying for break generational curses, to be the first of your family, or see life in a different way, be fulfilled, that's setting up the conditions for him to make a shift within your life. I didn't appreciate it. I'm still trying to appreciate it, but day by day I'm learning more to appreciate it. It's not my best phase, but you know, it's gonna do what it had to do. It better. It has no other choice. What I'm trying to paint for you guys is like, for years I really tried to settle for less. It's so funny, if you ask anybody around me, they will not even paint me to be that person. They'll be like, you know, you've always been this high achiever. But that wasn't really me. That sometimes I have to fight to submit that flesh urge back to him when it gets really hard. But I think sometimes just stepping out to do stuff like this is just to try to paint a better picture for you guys of just like, he's not gonna allow you to settle for less. Trust. I tried. I told you I was at the sky. I'm like, you keep trying to make me have all this thing for what? For what? It was a lot uglier. It was not cute. Oh, I don't know. The next time I try to do my makeup on here, y'all, I think I'm trying to write down more of what I'm about to say. I was so overstimulated. I don't think you understand. Oh, we didn't even know. Well, I don't even know how this looks like. And I don't know. This is the second time I used it. Let me show y'all how the face looked last time. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to give y'all like a final look before I go and come back. And I think I'm also going to try to make a little snippet of how it looks after it's set for a few hours. In the meantime, let me just do the lip. I have a lip liner, but I don't know where it is. Like, again, this is real life. This is real life. Sometimes you just gonna have to make it do what it do. Just continue to face and just smile. We're gonna fix it. Second. I like doing a little bit of this. Don't settle for less, y'all. I knew something was weird about my blush. I usually use this first. We'll do this again. Because the blush wasn't blushing. I was like, what's going on? Because I love a blush look. Ooh. 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 Try to put the hair down. Because the girl gots to go. Oh, she isn't terrible. She may not be a 10. But don't settle for less, y'all. I'll be back so I could show y'all how it looks when it finally sits in. I had to turn off the light and put normal light for y'all. And y'all were so worried. And I kept telling y'all, it's not gonna turn out that bad. I finished my meeting. And I'm not gonna lie, this phase. Next time we do this, I'm really gonna make sure like I have all my words ready because I was too stimulated. I wish you guys could see the setup. Like I told y'all, I really wanna show y'all behind the scenes of what's going on here. My setup. Say hi, setup. It's just so overly stimulated. We need to review this. The last time I did that face, I already showed y'all. That's how I feel about it. The reason why I'm not a big fan of it because I feel like it just looks very dry. And again, like I do use Derma Blend and things just to make sure it just sucks in the oils of my face because I could get oily. This face is just really dry. This is the second time I use it and I'm just like, no. It does get a little dewy eventually, but y'all was so worried. Y'all need to have some faith. The whole time I kept telling y'all this face is going to be all right. Until next time.